A desperate thief races through the crowded streets of Rome with police right on his heels. Every turn closes another escape route. Every second brings the officers closer. With nowhere left to run, he dives into the cold waters of the Tiber River and disappears beneath the surface. For a moment it seems like he got away. But hidden beneath the riverbank is something far more dangerous than the police. As he climbs out of the water, his foot crashes into several abandoned barrels. Thick black sludge bursts out and covers his body. The substance burns against his skin, but panic pushes him forward. He rushes home without realizing that his life is about to change forever. That night becomes pure torture. His body shakes with fever. His muscles feel like they're tearing apart from the inside. Strange black fluid pours from his skin, and every breath becomes a struggle. Feels less like an illness and more like a transformation. By morning, however, the pain is gone. In fact, he feels better than ever. The thief's name is Enzo, and he has no idea that the accident in the river has turned him into something extraordinary. Trying to continue life as usual, Enzo takes a stolen watch to a criminal contact named Sergio. While he heads to the meeting, another story unfolds elsewhere. Sergio works for a ruthless gang leader known as Fabio the Gypsy. Fabio inherited his father's criminal empire, but nobody truly respects him. His men see him as unstable, reckless, and unworthy of leadership. Those doubts vanish for a terrifying reason during a gang meeting. A henchman delivers a phone Fabio requested. The problem is white. Fabio wanted black. What should have been a minor mistake turns into a nightmare. In front of everyone, Fabio explodes with rage. His violent outburst becomes so extreme that he kills his own man on the spot. The room falls silent. Nobody dares challenge him again. Not because they respect him, because they fear him. Later, Sergio buys the stolen watch from Enzo. During the exchange, Enzo suddenly starts coughing and nearly collapses. Concerned, Sergio invites him along for a small job. Before they leave, Enzo briefly meets Sergio's daughter, Alessia. She carries around an old portable DVD player and speaks in ways that seem disconnected from reality. Sergio quietly explains that she struggles with mental health issues and asks Enzo not to pay attention. Soon, they travel to meet two brothers being used as drug couriers. The criminals forced the men to swallow packets of narcotics for transport. Now the drugs need to be recovered. Inside an abandoned building, the process begins. But everything falls apart. One brother suddenly collapses. A packet inside his stomach has ruptured, flooding his body with narcotics. Within minutes, he's dead. Sergio barely reacts. Instead of showing sympathy, he decides the only solution is to cut open the corpse and retrieve the remaining packets manually. The surviving brother is horrified and refuses. Sergio responds with threats. The tension reaches a breaking point. In a desperate act of survival, the terrified brother throws a drink into Sergio's face, grabs a gun and fires. Sergio is mortally wounded but still manages to fight back with frightening determination. Chaos erupts throughout the room. Another shot rings out. This one hits Enzo. The impact sends him crashing through a window. Seconds later, he plunges 9 stories toward the ground below. Nobody could survive that fall. Nobody should survive it. Yet moments later, Enzo opens his eyes. Alive, confused and terrified, he rushes home. Waiting outside his apartment is Alessia, desperately searching for her father. Enzo avoids her questions and retreats inside. There, he discovers something impossible. The gunshot wound barely hurts. Meanwhile, Alessia continues knocking on his door. Frustrated, Enzo slams his fist into the wood. His hand blasts straight through it. He freezes. The door isn't damaged. It's destroyed. Suddenly, the accident in the river starts making sense. Enzo begins testing himself. Heavy furniture moves like cardboard. Metal pipes bend effortlessly in his hands. Every test reveals the same thing. He has become unbelievably strong. Most people might use such power to help others. Enzo has a different idea. He decides to get rich. That night, hidden behind a mask and hood, he walks to an ATM machine. With a single pull, he rips the entire machine from the wall and carries it home. By morning, he's sitting on a pile of stolen cash. Then he notices something even stranger. The gunshot wound has completely vanished. His body healed itself overnight. As Enzo experiments with his growing abilities, Fabio faces a crisis of his own. Sergio is dead. The drug shipment is missing, and the drugs belong to another dangerous crime boss. Fabio desperately searches for answers, and eventually ends up questioning Alessia. His men threaten her her, intimidate her, and tear apart her apartment looking for clues. Watching from nearby, Enzo realizes she's in danger. First he walks away, then something changes. When one of Fabio's men threatens Alessia with a cleaver, a masked figure suddenly crashes through the window. Enzo has made his choice. The gangsters attack him. It doesn't matter. Their punches feel like nothing. One by one, he throws them aside with ease. For the first time, Fabio experiences something he never expected: fear. But Fabio is still dangerous. He grabs Alessia and places the blade against her throat, forcing Enzo to stop. As the gang retreats, Alessia manages to fight back, creating a brief opening. Enzo moves to help her. Too late. The cleaver slices through his foot before Fabio escapes. Even injured, Enzo remains standing. Alessia stares at him with wonder. To her, he isn't just a man anymore. He's the living version of the superhero from her favorite anime. And although Enzo refuses to admit it, her belief in him is beginning to change something inside him too. Enzo brings Alessia back to his apartment, believing it's the safest place left for her. Only then does he examine his injury. One of his toes is completely gone. Certain his healing ability will fix it, he tapes the severed piece back into place and waits. By morning, he learns an important limitation. His body can recover from wounds, but it cannot restore what has been lost. Meanwhile, Fabio becomes obsessed with finding the mysterious masked man. His problems are piling up fast. The missing drug shipment belonged to a powerful crime boss named Nunzia, and she wants repayment. Desperate for money, Fabio plans a robbery. At the same time, Enzo discovers something unexpected. Alessia accidentally leaves behind her favorite anime series. Out of boredom, he starts watching it. First it's just entertainment, then it becomes something more. The heroic stories slowly chip away at the selfish criminal he's always been. Still, old habits die hard. When Enzo spots an armored truck on the highway, he steals a fortune before Fabio's gang can rob it themselves. Furious, Fabio watches helplessly as the masked thief escapes once again. Using the stolen money, Enzo buys expensive equipment and the complete anime collection. For the first time in years, he starts enjoying life. But Alessia returns unexpectedly after police mistakenly assume she is his wife. She proudly presents him with a handmade hero mask. Enzo immediately rejects the idea. He's not a hero, at least that's what he believes. As days pass, the two spend more time together. They watch anime, share meals, and slowly break through each other's emotional walls. One night, Alessia suddenly panics and begs Enzo not to hurt her. The fear in her eyes reveals a painful truth. Someone abused her in the past. Instead of pulling away, Enzo gently comforts her. It is one of the first genuinely selfless things he has done in years. Their bond grows stronger. Wanting to see her smile, Enzo takes her to an abandoned amusement park. Using his incredible strength, he manually spins an enormous Ferris wheel. Alessia laughs harder than she has in years. Later, at a shopping center, she admires a beautiful dress and quietly says she wishes she could look like a princess. Without hesitation, Enzo buys it for her. For someone who once cared only about himself, the change is remarkable. But one lie still hangs between them. Alessia keeps asking about her father. Enzo keeps avoiding the truth. Eventually, guilt wins. He finally admits that Sergio died and is never coming back. The revelation crushes her. Feeling betrayed, she leaves and boards a bus. That's when Enzo makes a decision that changes everything. He runs after the vehicle and physically stops it with his bare hands. Passengers stare in disbelief. Phones appear everywhere. His secret is exposed. For the first time, Enzo doesn't care. He boards the bus, apologizes sincerely, and tells Alessia something she never expected to hear. He's ready to become the hero she always believed he could be. She forgives him. Together they visit the morgue, where Alessia says a heartbreaking goodbye to her father. Afterward, Enzo realizes they can no longer stay in Rome. Too many people know who he is. The two prepare to leave the city. Elsewhere, Fabio's life continues falling apart. His own brother challenges his leadership, forcing Fabio to reveal just how cruel he truly is. The betrayal ends with tragedy, leaving Fabio more isolated and unstable than ever. Soon, a television report reveals the identity of Rome's mysterious superhuman. Fabio finally knows exactly who Enzo is. At the same time, crime, Enzo and Alessia escape to a small hotel outside the city. There, Enzo opens up about his past. He talks about growing up surrounded by crime, losing every friend he ever had, and convincing himself that he would never be anything more than a thief. But now things are different. Alessia changed him. For the first time, he wants a future. Their peaceful moment doesn't last. Fabio storms into the hotel and captures Enzo. When threats fail, Fabio uses Alessia as leverage. To save her, Enzo finally reveals the source of his powers, the radioactive barrels. Fabio immediately forces him back to the river. While Enzo searches for the barrels, Alessia manages an incredible escape. Using a hidden knitting needle, she turns the tables on her captor and breaks free. But before she can reach safety, another threat arrives. Nunzia and her heavily armed crew descend upon the port. Gunfire erupts everywhere. Fabio is riddled with bullets. Flames consume him. Believing him dead, everyone focuses on surviving. Then Enzo finds Alessia. His heart sinks. She was caught in the attack. Dying in his arms, she asks him for one final promise. Use your powers to help people. Save the world. Through tears, Enzo agrees. Moments later, she's gone. Her death shatters him. But tragedy isn't finished yet. The radioactive river grants Fabio the same gift it gave Enzo. Burned beyond recognition but very much alive, Fabio emerges stronger than ever. Consumed by madness, he hunts down Nunzia and destroys everyone in his path. With his newfound strength and an arsenal of stolen weapons, he begins planning something catastrophic. Meanwhile, Enzo wanders through Rome broken and directionless. Then fate intervenes. A car accident traps a young girl inside a burning vehicle. As the flames spread, Enzo remembers Alessia's final wish. Without hesitation, he tears the wreck apart and saves the child. For the first time, he experiences what it feels like to truly help someone. The crowd cheers. Even the police lower their guard. At that moment, Enzo finally becomes the hero Alessia always saw. But a television broadcast interrupts the celebration. Fabio is alive, and he has planted a bomb inside a packed stadium. Thousands of innocent lives are at risk. Enzo immediately races toward the danger. Inside the stadium, the two superhumans collide. Their battle tears through walls, seating sections, and barriers while terrified spectators flee for safety. Neither man can overpower the other. Then Enzo notices an old phone. It's the bomb detonator. The fight intensifies as both men struggle for control. Although Enzo destroys the phone, Fabio reveals a terrifying backup plan. The real trigger is hidden elsewhere. A countdown begins. With only minutes remaining, Enzo steals the vehicle carrying the bomb and races away from the stadium. Every second matters. Police roadblocks slow him down. Timer keeps ticking. Forced to abandon the vehicle, Enzo grabs the explosive device and continues on foot. Finally, he reaches a bridge overlooking the water. Just as he prepares to throw the bomb away, Fabio attacks again. The device slides across the pavement. The countdown drops lower. 10 seconds. Rome's fate hangs in the balance. Realizing there is only one option left, Enzo gathers every ounce of strength he has. He charges forward, grabs Fabio, and leaps off the bridge. A massive explosion erupts over the water. The blast destroys Fabio completely, but Enzo disappears with him. Days pass. Rome mourns the mysterious hero who saved the city. Then comes one final surprise. High above the rooftops, a familiar figure stands watching over the skyline. Enzo survived. He removes a handmade mask from his pocket. The same mask Alessia once created for him. Slowly he puts it on. At last he accepts the truth. He's no longer a thief. He's no longer running from his past. He's become the hero she always believed existed beneath the surface. And with the city stretching endlessly before him, Enzo leaps into the sky, ready to protect Rome from whatever comes next. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more incredible movie recaps. And let me know in the comments, would you use superpowers to become a hero, or would you choose a different path?